for the pledge. Later. Okay. So, Chris and Allie are excused. And also present is our attorney, Ashley. 4 agenda changes. Are there any? Okay. 5, do we need a motion to appoint the minute taker for closed session? I will appoint Julie.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 6, motion to go into closed session.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session under state statute 19.851C concerning employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility.
Second.
Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried.
Here I am falling down on the
Any action on matters discussed in closed session. This is where I would need the motion, correct?
I will make a motion to approve the hiring of Sergeant Brian Barr to promotion of police chief starting January 1st, 2025.
A second.
Roll call. Jim?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, then we will go to 13. And we will do a discussion, 14, sorry. We'll go to 14, discussion and possible action on the new light fixtures for downtown.
I did just an example for you guys in the frame reference to the New London new lights.
I saw some on the news this morning.
Hey,
Just throwing it out there.
sorry it took a little longer. I'm just gonna pull. I'm gonna pull up Teams
I just
now.
want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Alright. So are you still going to launch that Teams meeting, or
Yep.
okay.
I'm doing that now.
Okay.
If you wanted to just kind of start talking about the.
Yeah, do you have that PDF up on? Oh, here we go. Sure. Sorry, I saw the thing on Teams pop up and then it kind of went away. But do you have that PDF up on the screen right now?
No. If you want to just.
Oh,
Can you share your screen?
yes, I can share my screen.
Perfect.
All right, I have my screen shared. And are you able to see my screen and hear me
Yes.
okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, we can do this technology thing. Sorry about skipping out in person here. I just wasn't sure how the roads would be. So for this hopefully final round, I have 2 main options. I have options 1 and 2, and then I have each one split into A and B, and there's just a slight change between the 2. So I ran calculations with each one, and originally, I was kind of talking about an 18-foot pole, and I just couldn't get the 18-foot pole to work with the sidewalk. It was just too many bright spots on the sidewalk. I couldn't make the numbers work. So I raised it up to a 20-foot pole, which will still look very nice with the width of the street and the heights of the building. This option, we've got our banner and for the type of street and the type of material that the street and sidewalk are made out of. So we'd be able to easily meet those requirements. And then going to the next option, which is option 2A, it's very similar to options 1. It's just a little bit taller, so we're at a we're at a 22-foot pole, so we're about 2 feet or 24 inches taller than options 1A and 1B. And so what this does is instead of 158 feet on center, we're at about 176 feet on center. So we're able to stretch out the distance a little bit more. It may or may not help on this. It may or may not eliminate one pole, but it's really not a make or break kind of thing. But it kind of gives you an idea of, we raise the pole up a little bit, we can go a little bit further with that. So then going back to option 2A, just to kind of go over this, I still have the planter arm at 11 feet. But, kind of the big visual difference here with allowing that extra 2 feet is the arm of the sidewalk fixture is at the same level as the bottom of the banner arm, whereas over here we have the, so this is for option 1, the sidewalk fixture is kind of in the middle of the banner arm. I personally like the look of option 2 with the slightly taller pole and having that sidewalk fixture just at the same level of the bottom of the banner arm. To me, it looks better to my eye. But again, I'll let the board decide what you guys prefer. I think from a cost standpoint, there'd be very little in difference between the cost of, the extra 2 feet of pole. So I wouldn't let that, change your mind. And then, so then going to option 2B, same as 2A, except I have the little ball video details on the top of the fixtures and the top of the poles.
So by going with the taller pole, it's at 170, you said 176 feet on center?
Yep, 176 feet center, so we can go a little bit further out. It's a little bit more even illumination.
Farm. I do too. I like
Mhm.
Finial.
I like 2A.
I like the Finial.
I think it looks really nice. Like it just has a really clean look to it.
Just
And it's gonna be 23 feet in the air.
Yeah, the finials aren't a big deal to me. But they look cool. I just don't know how much of an effect they're gonna have.
23 feet up in the air.
But I like option
I
2,
mean-
whatever.
From a cost standpoint, it would be, very little in the grand scheme of things. So if you really like it, I wouldn't worry too much about the added cost. It would be, pennies compared to the actual, installation of it. It would be peanuts.
I like the
I think it gives a little bit more of a traditional look versus a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah, I could care what, either way. I just like
Yeah.
option 2 versus option 1. Are we officially making a decision on this tonight?
So you're saying the 2A?
I like 2B. I like 2B.
I like either one is fine. Yeah, either option 2. The finials aren't a big deal to me, but if you guys like them, it's not a big deal to me.
At least we have like 2 so far.
How much are pennies?
So we're down to 2.
How much are pennies?
Option
2, we just
How
have
much
to
is
figure out whether we
peanuts?
want finials or not. I could care
How much is
less.
peanuts with a little balls on the top?
Yeah, we don't need the little ball.
Oh,
How
those
much
walls
is-
are nice.
how much
That's
is-
design.
Who's gonna
You're
see it?
redoing the whole
I
Main
just
Street.
I
gonna
picture
see it?
Walmart bags stuck to them. That's what I picture.
They're 20
But I'm
they're
this
20
is
feet up
me.
in the
But
air.
think
They're
about
not-
like something to get caught on. But that's just me. It's just
I mean, it's rounded. I don't know.
well, like
Is there a different topper?
Yeah.
no anything.
This one
I think
Finials,
if
like,
people-
This
finials.
one in New London is like a little point.
If you aesthetically think it looks better to have it,
Yeah, I don't care. If you guys want finials, I could care less. We can do finials.
I think it's aesthetically better.
I
too.
do too.
picture Walmart flags flapping in the wind.
Which-
Trace. They're gonna be here for like 20 or 30 years.
Caught on the hands.
I'm with you.
Waking me
I
up
don't
at 2
care.
a.m.
I think option 2 is better. I
Yeah.
honestly don't care, just, but
I don't care.
I don't think it's a big deal. I just, that's why I say it. I don't think it's a big deal. So I think A would probably be a better option. That's an opinion.
Somebody make a motion for 2B.
I don't care.
or-
Yeah. Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Make a motion. All right, I make a motion to approve option 2B. How's that?
I'll second it.
Roll call, Jim.
All right.
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. I'm glad we got to this point, and we're gonna move forward with this.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. If anything else comes up, you just let me know, okay?
We will.
Yep.
All right. Bye-bye.
There we go.
Bye.
Yep.
Off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to listen to the rest of our
Okay,
meeting.
we will go back then to 10, consent agenda. A, presentation of accounts and other claims against the village.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda.
I'll second.
Roll call, Jim.
All right.
Aye.
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 Motion carried. 11, pre-registered citizens to be heard. There are none. 12, committee reports. A, senior activities report, 11/14/24 and 12/12/24. It is in the packet. 13, unfinished business from previous meetings. A, discussion and possible action on electric submersible mixer for water tower.
So this is one that we talked about at the last meeting. We went back to KLM and talked talking about if they would do it or if they knew someone that would do.
Maintenance that does,
Without-
without paying for the maintenance that isn't doing any maintenance?
I mean, they'll still do it on our tower.
Yeah.
And the idea was just if they're there anyway, but after we found out more about it, it's just replace it with like the one we have.
Okay.
Any
I
other
agree.
questions? Otherwise, we would need a motion.
What do we need here? That's
This would be the total.
okay, so I'll make a motion to approve this is KLM quote for the submersible, what is it, submersible mixer?
Yep.
The amount of $17,252.50.
A second.
Roll call.
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, then we will go to 14, new business. The discussion and possible action on resolution R-36-24, adopting water and sewer utility budgets.
So the budgets were in your packet. I had a summary that didn't make it into the packet, so I just handed them out to you guys. But basically, we're looking at the big projects coming up for 2025 would be the backup generator at the well house and at Alonzo, which will also kick on and power the lift station across the street at Quick Trip. Then we're also looking at doing replacement of laterals on Honeysuckle. We've had, I think, 4 leaks already in that neighborhood where they were put in. So I think we're gonna just be proactive and go on and replace the ones that we haven't already replaced.
That addresses that one issue
Yeah.
that we had with the
I-
resident.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I thought you said you had looked and there weren't any leaks.
So they listened and they couldn't find any leaks, but the way that the other ones were degraded, we're assuming that it will be pretty soon. And I think it was just a bad batch of copper that they put in.
Are
We don't have
replacing
problem.
those- Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, we don't have problems with like that anywhere else in the village.
Okay.
Could we possibly look at going with the plastic type thing as opposed to copper laterals, going into the,
I think that's
Residents?
what they do replace it with.
okay, good.
Other than that, the utility budget will be higher than revenue in 2024 due to the Mill Street project and our contributions to that. But in 2022 and 23, it was over, and we assume it'll be over again next year then too.
Any questions for Aaron? If not, we would need a motion.
I make a motion to approve R-36-24.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. C, discussion and possible action on resolution R-37-24, 2025 wage resolution.
This is the resolution for wages. The average increase is around 4%. Nothing else has really changed at this point. We did increase the election inspectors up. They were at 15 for the chief election. election inspector, and we just moved that to 17 an hour. And the election inspectors themselves, so the other employees that are there are at 15.
I have a question. Recreation director, is that anticipating from like a certain date, or, I mean, I know
It was a lump sum, we always
it's like a
pay.
lump sum, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we usually split it between 5 payments, usually one before for the work done prior.
So it's not like an hourly thing, the
No.
assistant is. I just wanted to
Correct.
make sure, okay.
Any other questions? Otherwise, we would need a motion.
Make a motion to approve R-37-24.
A second?
Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. D, discussion and possible action on resolution R-33-24, amending sick leave payout policy.
So this is basically a amendment to the current personnel manual. Currently, sick leave for general employees is accrued up to 480 hours, and then upon leaving, you get paid out up to half of that amount at 240 is the payout. This change that's being proposed is that if you have 20-year continuous years of service at the village of Hortonville, that you would receive 100% of that accumulated sick leave upon leaving. Basically, the village currently, after 15 years, we don't have any additional benefits that employees can look forward to. This would be one that we would add in potentially that might push people to stay a little longer. Yeah, that's.
So what's the potential of somebody having 100% of their sick leave? I mean, like, if they never
Most-
use sick
So
leave.
5 years, you'd get most, like if you didn't take any, 5 years you'd have. This is fixing a mistake on my part. Basically with what it is which we have two types of way to get money, levying money. So one's what's the general fund levy and then debt levy. For years they had another line in there for capital projects, and it was something that just kind of, normally we just apply it to where it needs to go. I missed it this year, so it was in general levy instead of debt. So it should have been in debt the whole time. It was 5,000 was kind of the difference. So what ends up happening is there's no change to the actual taxes that went out. It's just it's pulling from the wrong lever. Is the best way to describe it. The state has a levy limit, which is done through the general fund only. The debt fund isn't under levy limits. So this basically puts us to where we should have been. Like I said, it was an error in calculations, and this would fix it. So the reason why this amount's a little more was because that debt in the budget side had a wrong calculation on it. It had basically the amount from what was estimated when the general fund and the budget was put together. We didn't get the actual amounts from the loan until that Monday prior. So that's why it's a slightly difference in the next section. And it's not only a $5,000 increase. So it's a slight increase. I think we gained a little more principal. So it's less interest we had to pay based on according to the budget. So
the motion, it needs to have the resolution number in there, but we need the dollar amount, and is that dollar amount the $366,745?
Yep.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve R-35-24, the resolution amending R-3224 for the 2025 CIP loan in the amount of $366,745.
A second?
Roll call, Jim?
Did you get the right number?
In that
Yep.
resolution.
Yeah.
The resolution number?
And the paperwork.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Over.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, F, discussion and possible action on resolution R-34-24, amending 2025 village budget.
So this is that fix, you see where we're removing the 5,000, or adding the 5,000 into the 310 lines, which is basically debt levy, and then subtracting the 5,000 out of the capital project fund, is where that switch is. And then the principal and interest on the CIP loan, that one is the amount that's switching, from basically what was interest, the interest was calculated wrong. So, that's,
How do you want that worded in a motion? Like,
I mean, you could just accept the resolution R-34-24,
okay,
amending the 2025 budget.
yeah, unless somebody has any questions. Oh,
No questions.
all right, I will make a motion to approve R-34-24 2025 budget amendment.
A second.
Roll call, Jim.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. G, discussion and possible action on cancellation of January 2nd village board meeting.
We figured, because of January 2nd being, it's a tight week in there, for publications and everything, so, we don't have anything now, we normally don't have much in the first one of the year. Typically the last 2 weeks here is all taxes for staff, that's pretty much it, so, that's why.
Okay, I would need a motion to cancel.
I'll make a motion
Go
to
ahead.
cancel the January 2nd, 2025 village board meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 15, report of village officials. A, clerk treasurer, her report is in the packet. B, director of public works, Aaron.
My report didn't make it in the packet, but I passed on a hard copy to you. One thing on there is we did get notification today or yesterday that they are going to pull out of Alonzo. They got everything kind of cordoned off ahead of the snow, and once they get a break in the weather, then they'll start continuing to put the playground together.
Any questions for Aaron? Okay, we'll go to C, police chief. Chris is not here. And then SRO update, Sergeant Barr.
So, Sergeant Barr had.
Yeah, so I just, in that update last week that I sent, I mentioned that I met with the individual officers to kind of figure out where we would be at with staffing with the SRO in the event that I came out. Officer Solkowski showed a high level of interest and has since he started here in that position, and Officer Hauser was interested in moving up into that full-time role. So currently, where I'm at, and actually today, Officer Solkowski was with Officer Hauser, just kind of learning the layout of the schools, meeting administrators. He'll be working with him throughout the next few weeks. Our plan or our schedule change will actually start on January 12th, where Officer Hauser will be the full-time SRO, primarily at the high school and the Hortonville campuses, while Officer Sokolsky will be filling his role as kind of the primary elementary, middle at all of the campuses. Not a lot changes there other than the names in those positions. I did meet with district officials who are all good with that change. I would say we're going to evaluate at the end of the year, and I think everybody knows that this is a change right now, but we'll kind of take a look at how things are going and if there's any areas of improvement at the end of the year or what that'll look like long term. We do have SRO contract coming up, probably using March-ish, so continue to work with them and just make sure they're satisfied with services there, and you know, and I think they know that I'll continue to be a resource for them too with issues as they come up. So that's our plan.
Any questions for Brian?
I don't have a question for Brian, but maybe Nathan can, because Chief Carlson's not here tonight. Have we gotten our new squad? Is that in yet?
No.
No, okay. Just curious, is that good? Are you good with vehicles right now?
Yeah, we're at 3 squads. I just had mentioned to Nathan today that I wanted to check in with Chris as far as I was told by the end of the year we'd have that new car. I think there was some equipment that was coming off the truck that was going to be put into another car. that had some equipment issues, so I'm really hoping that we have that all resolved, by the end of the year here, but that's a question that I have for her as to where we're at with that.
I was just curious, thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Didn't the truck get sold yet?
No, probably won't until January at this point, because we're waiting for it to come back, but, I did see a truck did come up on there, on the surplus site for sale, so it's till the end of the year, so I'm kind of just tracking it to see what that one goes for. It's got 100,000 miles, but same type, so I'm just curious on what it ends up going for.
Okay, then we will move to D, Library Director, Ally is out. E, Attorney, Ashley. Okay. F, Administrator, Nathan.
End of the year stuff, staff's getting all of our stuff updated, kind of prepping for this new year at this point. Yeah. Kind of it.
Any questions for Nathan? Okay, G, Building Permit Report, it is not in the packet. H, any other miscellaneous topics for future discussion? Nothing? 16, Communications and Miscellaneous Business. A, Black Otter Lake District News, Bob.
Nothing new.
Okay. B, Hortonville Hortonia Fire District News, Jim.
Nothing.
C, Gold Cross Ambulance Run Report and News, it is in the packet. D, Hortonville Civic Association, Jane.
Nothing new.
Okay. 17, comments and suggestions from citizens present, there are none. 18, I would need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We adjourned at 7:15.